Halifax Health has always been a part of my life. I was one of their first patients treated in their NICU in 1986. Got my job here, and while I was working here, I went to the University of North Florida. Came back, started working as a registered orthotech here. My aunt works here, my grandfather's worked here. My grandfather, Don Quinn, was Team Halifax for his whole life. I could still picture him in that blue jacket at the front door, saying good morning to everybody, and you don't know how many people still talk to me on a daily basis saying how much of an impact he had on their lives. He was a great man. I feel like it was just a foregone conclusion that I was going to work here. Just because my family has been, they've always been, Team Halifax.
He's with Orthotech, so he helps us with our multi-POTUS boots. They're the boots that help prevent foot drop.
We've always seen him around the hospital because he's been here for so long and he's part of the team.
He's always there pretty much when there's a trauma.
I was heading home from a birthday dinner with friends. I was heading home relatively early because I had work the following day, so it was around 10 o'clock. I was on Highway 40 and I woke up 5 weeks later here. I rolled my car several times, obviously totaled. Two people just driving by happened to see the dome light on in my car and were nice enough to stop and call an ambulance for me. I've got head to toe injuries, open skull fracture, bilateral orbit fractures, multiple fractures in my face, open humerus fracture, I had a burst fracture of my T-spine, and yeah, so it was quite an experience.
I found out I was assigned to him that day, and I walked in the room to do my assessment. I had no idea it was Justin. He had multiple facial injuries, lots of bruising. He was on a ventilator. I kind of introduced myself to his mom as I would typically do, and she said, this is Justin. He works in Orthotech. And as soon as she said that, it just clicked for me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, he's family, he's one of us.
They wheeled me into the trauma room, and I was alert and oriented, and unfortunately I knew a bunch of those people down there, but they didn't recognize me because I was, all the facial fractures. And I called one of the doctors by his first name, and everything kind of got quiet, and I'm like, oh, this is Justin, this is one of our guys. So yeah, then they proceeded from there. But
when we get patients into the emergency room with trauma patients, sometimes we do not know who they are. We have to hold our emotions in check. Sometimes if we treat patients with emotions, then we're not necessarily doing the right thing.
Yeah, I've taken care of countless patients for years, but never did I think that I would be on the receiving end of it, that I would be the patient. I never crossed my mind.
I cannot imagine being on the receiving end of care. That kind of helped me, it kind of dictate how I was going to care for him.
It refocuses you and really refreshes it and drives it home, but you need to treat every patient like they are your family.
I hope my story gives every team member at Halifax Health perspective. Treat them like one of your family members. Treat them like a friend that you see every day, a friend that you work with every day, because that's the way you'd want to be treated.
So just never take each other for granted, Treat everyone like their family, because you never know what could happen.
I think it was the grace of God, honestly, that he put me at Halifax, and he's put Halifax in my life, and I think that may be why he did. So when I was at my worst, that I could feel comfort being here at Halifax.